Okay, we're going to cut straight to the chase. I'm not going to bury the headline. I'm not going to do a build-up to this. It's really simple. The Joe Biden plan for getting himself reelected is war. Let me explain. Hi, it's Pastor Marty, and this is the Afternoon Drive. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you are a subscriber to the channel, and once you are, smack the bell, click the word all to get notification of all of my rants, my ravings, and what's the other part? That's right, my flawless reasonings. Hey, and then please like and share this video. That's how we get the word out that we're here. Thank you so much for watching the Afternoon Drive. From the Oval Office, Joe Biden sat there, hands on the desk, reading the teleprompter with all of the sincerity of an AI-generated voice that's suffering from dementia. That's what we were treated to last night. And there are many commentators, especially conservatives, talking about, you didn't go far enough. You know, we've been attacked like, in the last 48 hours, American forces have been attacked like 7-8 times, and he mentioned none of that. And he was making room for Hamas and the Palestinians, and he didn't go far enough for Israel. And put all that aside. From Ukraine to Israel, the military-industrial complex doesn't care where the war happens as long as one happens. That's the money. That's the grift. That's what fuels the economy. Joe Biden is coming from the old school thought, well, you don't change presidents in the middle of a war. He wants you comfortable with the concept of war, that we have been fighting a proxy war with Russia using Ukraine. We're now kind of going to fight a proxy war in the Middle East using Israel, but he really would like to put some troops there. He wants to be a wartime president. He knows he can't run on the economy. He knows he can't run on border security. He knows that the wokeism of his political party, and of which he has aligned himself with, is absolutely killing the party. It's killing the nation. And the vast majority of Americans want nothing to do with it. Look at the backlash that Hollywood is dealing with right now. Snow White became Snow Woke, and it's about to be Snow Broke. And the entire meltdown in the wonderful world of Disney over the way they have trashed every iconic movie series that they have put their hands on. They killed Star Wars. They've killed Indiana Jones. They're about to destroy Snow White. They destroyed The Little Mermaid, and on it goes. And America is saying with one loud, unified voice, we don't want any more of this woke stuff shoved down our throats. And you now are starting to even hear from liberal Hollywood actors, liberal entertainers, even abroad from other nations, saying this woke has got to go. It's killing creativity. It's just killing everything. And Joe Biden and the Democrats have aligned with all of these people that get offended over the wrong pronouns, and they cancel, and they out people, and they dox them, and they make life miserable for them, and the American people want nothing to do with that. The Democrats have nothing to run on. Everything they've tried to throw at Donald Trump hadn't worked. He is the 4-time indictment champ. And now this lunatic judge is threatening to arrest him for violating the gag order. And what was the gag order? You can't say anything bad about me or my staff. And if you do, you're going to jail. Really? That's America? That's free speech? A presidential candidate can't talk about a judge that's coming after him? So the First Amendment is suspended? Seriously? This is what we're dealing with? And so, again, they still, some within the Democratic Party, among the war room people who plan out how a campaign is going to go, they still think this is a winning strategy for them, this endless persecution of Donald Trump. In Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. Donald Trump just took on the level of gangsta rapper when he had to report to be fingerprinted and mugged shot in Fulton County, because that's what the lunatic AG down there wanted. And what happened? Even the mainstream media was so blown away by it, they refused to cover it. You got to go on YouTube to find the video clips of the streets leading up to the jail lined on both sides with wall-to-wall people of color out to support Donald Trump when his caravan of vehicles made its way to the jail. They turned him into a gangsta hero. They identify with that. They're bleeding supporters. We've been talking about this the last couple of days. They're bleeding people of color. They're now losing the billionaires of Silicon Valley. The indictments haven't worked. And I promise you, go ahead, arrest him on the gag order. You've all but sealed at that point the finality of Trump's reelection, even from a jail cell. That's the kind of protest vote that's coming. So none of this has worked. And so Biden and his handlers and advisors have decided, let's just take a page out of World War II and FDR and Vietnam. You don't change presidents in the middle of a war. That's what this is all about now. We could talk about Ukraine and the proxy war with Russia that was all about Americans wanting to push back Russia so that we could sell our oil, our natural gas there. That's why we blew up a pipeline. We can talk about that, yes, we stand with Israel. But what this really comes down to now is this is really a war being driven by one man who just wants to stay in power. And he's got nothing else to run on. He can't run on his mental acuity. He can't run on the fact that he's got an incredibly likable personality and he's done great things. And despite the fact that Robert De Niro, who's obviously suffering from dementia himself, still keeps going bat crap crazy over the fact that Donald Trump apparently lives rent-free in his head. And he went on another tirade against Donald Trump, calling him a mafia don. Well, I got news for you, Bobby. I know you played those kind of parts in movies, but it was all pretend. And you talk really tough about what you'd like to do to the president. But again, it's all pretend. And let's face it, you're an old man. And when we saw you in The Irishman, it didn't matter that they used computer graphics to make you look 30 years younger. You still walked, kicked, and punched like an old man. So, yeah, go ahead. Keep talking tough, Bobby. But really, there are two types of presidents. Mob bosses and mob minions. In other words, the boss that is in charge and runs things, and everybody stays in line. Everybody stays in line. And it's something that when the mafia has, when the top dog is mean, ruthless, and you're not quite sure if you could walk out of a meeting or a sit down alive, everybody, all the other families, they all play nice together, and there's relative calm and peace in the underworld. Put in a weak leader and all hell breaks loose. What do we got right now? In this country, people loot and riot without fear of repercussion. We had another insurrection this week. Did anything happen? No. And I promise you, those people that were in the Capitol protesting for peace and free Palestine did a lot more than the so-called insurrectionists on January 6th. They won't be arrested. They won't be in jail. They won't be hunted down. There won't be any congressional investigation into their lives. We have war in Ukraine. We have war in the Middle East because we have a minion occupying the Oval Office. None of this happened when Donald Trump was in office. Why? You had a mob boss there. who did. He wanted to get along with everybody. We showed you the commentary yesterday from the Silicon billionaires. They said, you know, he didn't refer to every leader in the world he didn't agree with as a thug and a tyrant and a dictator like all the Democrats and the Warhawks do. You know, he said Kim Jong-un was a smart guy, you know, feed that ego, because that's not Trump being delusional. You know, that's the way the media kept portraying it. He keeps stroking the ego of these militant dictators. Yes, the reason he does that, when you see the video footage of Trump meeting Kim Jong-un was like standing like he was meeting Elvis for the first time. He was in awe of Trump. Yes, his ego wants that respect that the President of the United States can give him, but at the same time, he was like a puppy dog. Donald Trump could have gotten him to do anything. Call him a thug, call him a fat guy with a bad haircut, and you know what? He's liable to send a nuke our way because he's that insane himself. So Donald Trump may not have been loved by world leaders, but he was feared. And out of that fear, there was respect, and everybody behaved. And now look what we got. And he is so dying, Joe Biden is. Well, literally, but also literally just dying to prove he can still take on Corn Pop. Even if he's got to send your sons and daughters over there to do the dying for him. It will be interesting to see what our woke military can do, won't it? This is so sad, so tragic, so needless, and this isn't even about oil. This isn't about wealth for the nation. This is about one old man who is literally one missed trip to the bathroom away from a nursing home, making decisions about reinstating the draft and going to war. Not over the right or the wrong of the thing, but over trying to manipulate you into voting for him. That's the kind of sick, twisted, depends-wearing president we have. A scared, senile old man trying to be tough. Yeah, this is going to work out real well, isn't it?